Thank you very much once again. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you back at this one aristocratic channel of ours. And this is MATRIC+NATED Specialist. Ensure that you are hitting the subscription button and ensure that you are sharing to those who are concerned. And then today we've got one of the key subjects that we are going to discuss, and this is pertaining to municipal administration and 5. And then, as you know, that here we are discussing it without any failure, and we are more direct to the point, using this lecturer's guide, and then which will guide us to the exam questions and the test questions that they are going to be asked. And then there will be a memorandum again that is going to be presented on how to answer those questions. Then we are dealing in module 9, whereby we are talking about the municipal councillors. Remember, after the election here, we are to see that now the municipal councillors, they've got a role that they must play on our citizens to ensure that there is better facilitation of the service delivery with the content that we need to discuss. And with you also advise them to subscribe to this aristocratic channel. One of the questions that can derive on our question paper, it is to say identify the officials or the office bearers that were gazetted. We are saying the answer is all of the municipal council. They can be affected. Number 2, we are saying all of question 2 here, we can actually skip it. And then we are saying here, list the date when the disciplinary hearings are done according to the regulation of the Treasury. And then we are to see that it is in 1 July. And then question 3, we are to say, explain the main aim of the regulation of the Treasury. It is to identify the corrupt municipal officials and office bearer. And then number 4, identify the additional function for the council due to this new regulation. We are saying for 2 marks here, it is to institute investigations on the allegations of the financial misconduct and decide the fate of those that are found guilty by the disciplinary board. And then that it can be for 2 marks that proposed the municipal senior managers found guilty of the conduct. We are saying it can be any state department, and here an example, it can be the Department of Cooperative Governance. And then we are to see that in number 6, list the violations of the broken conducts to identify into the editors general in terms of the report. So we are to see that here it was reported in terms of 94% of 9.82 billion in regular expenditure related, getting 3 codes of competitive bidders to submit the tenders. And then number 2, the lack of consequences of wrongdoings. We are saying this includes senior managers and councillors doing business with their municipality or failing to disclose their financial interest. And then number 7, identify the task of the municipality with regards to the financial conduct. And then we are saying they are there to keep the records of the allegation of the financial misconduct. Number 2, name and the position of the person against whom the allegations were made. And then number 3, the steps to recover unauthorized, irregular, or fruitfulness, wasteful expenditure. Right. Here we've got one of the key concept questions that it repeatedly appear on the questions. And then here we must understand that in number 1 here, the section of 158(1) of the Constitution, 108 of 1996, it specifies that every citizen who is qualified to vote for a municipal council is eligible to be a member of that council. But there are certain exceptions that disqualify a person to become qualification. Number 1, it is in the service of that municipality that receives remuneration from that municipality. Number 2, we are saying is appointed by or in the service of the state in another sphere and receives disqualified from voting for the National Assembly. Number 4, it has been declared and rehabilitated insolvent. Number 5, it has been declared to be unsound of mind by the Court of the Republic. And then the other one is convicted of an offense and suspended to more than 12 months in the imprisonment without an option for the fine. And then it's either in the Republic or outside the Republic, and the period of 5 years has not elapsed since the sentence was been completed. And then we must understand that the other aspect is that is a member of the National Assembly and a delegate of the National Council of Provinces, a member of the provincial legislature, unless that person is a member of the municipal council representing the local government. And then we are saying, if ever, again, the last aspect is the member of another municipal council, and that it is for a maximum of 10 marks. If we are going on again, we are to see that we've got Some other important aspect that this is the continuation of the question. We are saying is already a councillor of the municipal unless he or she seeks the re-election. And then the other one, it says if was previously a councillor, but due to misconduct or corruption was declared ineligible to serve as a councillor. And the other one, he owes money to the municipality concerned for the longer than 3 months. And then we've got to understand that after being elected, no longer qualifies to be registered as the voter for the municipality. And then it has a spouse who is an employee of the council and then was declared unfit by the court of law to hold the public office, that it can be for 20 marks. Right? And then if ever we are moving on again, we are to see that the other question that can arise there, it can say in 2.1, withdraw from the meeting. So we are saying there, it says briefly discuss the codes of conduct under which councillor must serve. So withdrawal from the meetings, we are saying a municipal council may attend a meeting which he or she is required to attend, failing to remain in the attendance at such a meeting and being absent for the 3 or more consecutive meetings without permission. However, he or she must withdraw from the meeting if his or his spouse or company has any direct or indirect financial gain matters on the agenda. That is for 8 marks. In 2.2, the question A, so we are going to discuss now the code of conduct under the exceptions for entering into contract and agreements with the council. And then we are saying that for normal services such as water and electricity, buys, rents, and land with permission or the premier, or to buy or rent land at the public auction, he sells at the public auction, the member of sports club and club signs contract with the council, and then it is for 10 marks. If we are moving on again, we are to see that we are in 2.3, and then we must understand here we discuss it under the personal gain. And then we are saying may not benefit from a contract to provide goods and services to the municipality, may not perform any other paid work except as a councillor, may not obtain any financial interest in the business of the municipality. It must be for free, appear on the behalf of another person before the council, must declare in writing all the financial interest and income, may not be involved in bribery and corruption. And then under the 2.4 there, we can see that he must act as an agent. And then number 1, we are saying that he may not act as an agent or representative of any person in the following cases: before evaluation of the court of the council, at the licensing committee of the council, as a paid legal representative on behalf of the council, as the doctor, the veterinary surgeon, architect, engineer, accountant for the council to be paid. And then we can understand that it is for 10 marks. So there's quite a lot of activities that are taking place. And then we move to 2.5. We talk about the declaration of the interest. So we are saying that the councillor must declare in writing to the municipal manager all financial interest and income within a period of 60 days after elected. Also a change in his or financial interest also being declared annually. We are saying that the gift received above a prescribed amount must also be declared, and then that is for 6 marks. In 2.6, we've got to understand that we talk about the interference in the administration of the municipality, and then we must understand that it may not interfere in the administration of the municipality unless it is mandated by the council. So this is the mandate that we are talking about. And then we talk about may not give instructions to employee in the municipality unless he's instructed by the council. All right. Okay. And then if ever we are going on again, and we are to see that we can have some other question. And then here we are dealing with number 3. It says explain the following functions of the councillors. Number 1, we are saying under this sub question that we talk about the role of the representation. We are saying that the representation voters is state informed of the views and needs of the voters. Number 2, he determines activities undertaken by the council to satisfy these needs. And number 3, he represents his or her ward in the council meeting. And then in 3.2, the participation in committee. Committee is used to discuss matters and take recommendation. Number 2, be willing to be a member of the committee or an ad hoc committee. Number 3, to discuss matters in dealing in public meetings and formulate policies for submissions to the council, and that it can be for a maximum of 4 marks. If ever we are moving on again, and let us understand that we go to 3.3, and then in this instinct we can discuss this under the deliberation in council meeting. We are saying that deliberation, these are the debates that are happening in the council, and then we are saying discussions and analyzing in the council to evaluate the recommendations of the committee, and by discussing in the public debates and or the rejection of the recommendations. And then we are saying lastly, if satisfied, the approved recommendation will culminate in the council. It means it will also be taken to consideration, and then it will be used. And then that is a maximum of 6 marks. And then if we talk about the public liaison, so to liaise, it is a peer relation. So we are saying he must inform the voters in the ward of the reason for the council's decisions and they push something or to have it done. We must understand that it is to inform the community about the progress made in the council's decisions and services. And then number 3, evaluate the results of policies implemented to determine if needs are satisfied, and then to be available to the community to know their needs and expectations, and then that it can be for a maximum of 8 marks. If we move on again, we have to see that we are having the other question now, which can arise in section A. They say indicate whether the statements are true or false. And then in 4.1, we must understand that we are giving the statement. The councillor may receive the gifts from service providers. That is false. 4.2, the councillors to give notice if they cannot attend the meetings. That is very correct. It must be known. True. And councillors are allowed to use the official vehicle to go on the beach on Sunday. That is false. 4.4, a councillor is not allowed to organize contract for a family member or a friend. That is true. 4.5, a councillor has to withdraw from the meeting if his or her wife tender food is discussed. It is true. And then in 4.6, we are to see if a councillor does not attend a compulsory meeting, he can be fined. That is true. And then in 4.7, the councillors are allowed to accept a holiday to Mauritius for service provided. That is false. Thank you very much for tuning at this meritocratic channel. Ensure that you are hitting the subscription button and ensure that you come back again for the other module. Thank you very much for your time. Good luck.